January 17th, 2021, 10:32 a.m., Milfield Regional Hospital, Michigan. The surgical suite's sterile hush shattered as Dr. Rebecca Winters froze, forceps hovering over Frank Mason's back. What she just extracted wasn't melanoma. It was something alive, pulsing, metallic. Nurse Patricia Johnson, a 30-year veteran, screamed, stumbling into an instrument tray, metal crashing to the floor. Through the observation window, Eleanor Mason's hands pressed against the glass, her wedding ring glinting under harsh fluorescents. For years, she'd watched that mold darken, but never imagined this. What had Vietnam buried in Frank's flesh 45 years ago? And could they stop it before it was too late? Frank and Eleanor Mason's life in Milfield, Michigan, was a quiet rhythm of lake breezes and creaking porch steps. Their two-story home, 3 blocks from Lake Michigan, bore the wear of 46 years of marriage. Faded blue shutters, a sagging porch, paid off through decades of grit. Frank, 65, was a man of callous hands and unspoken bravery. His Bronze Star hidden in a drawer, his Vietnam stories locked tighter. Eleanor, or Ellie, had been an elementary school teacher, her soft blue eyes hiding her own past as a Vietnam battlefield nurse, a secret she'd buried so deep even Frank didn't know. Their daughter, Lily, an ER doctor in Chicago, was 3 hours and a lifetime of family tension away. Her divorce, a sore point Frank never forgave. The mole on Frank's back had been a silent companion since Vietnam. A dark smudge between his shoulder blades Eleanor noticed changing over the years. "It's nothing," Frank would grunt, waving off her worry with the same stubbornness that predicted Michigan storms. Had it checked in 82, just a souvenir. Their small-town doctor, Dr. Grayson, never pushed. Men like Frank only saw doctors when bleeding out. But on their 46th anniversary, everything shifted. Eleanor prepared pot roast, set out Frank's blue shirt, and planned their traditional dance to Sam Cooke's You Send Me. As she helped with his buttons, her fingers brushed the mole. It had grown, its edges jagged, now raised and textured like a spider's body. "Frank, this isn't right," she said, her teacher's tone brooking no argument. He sighed. "Anniversary for dancing, Ellie, not doctor talk." Dinner was interrupted by their daughter-in-law, Jessica, and granddaughter, Emma, surprising them with an anniversary visit. 5-year-old Emma, peering over Frank's shoulder as he unzipped her boots, pointed and said, "Grandpa, why is there a spider on your back?" The room froze. Jessica laughed nervously, but Eleanor lifted Frank's shirt. The mole's transformation was undeniable, dark, irregular, almost pulsing. She snapped a photo, insisting, "We're seeing Dr. Grayson tomorrow." For once, Frank didn't argue, his face paling as he saw the image. Dr. Grayson's jovial demeanor vanished at the sight. "This needs a specialist," he said, referring Frank to Dr. Rebecca Winters, a dermatologist fresh from Boston. At the clinic, Dr. Winters' professional calm flickered as she examined the growth. "How long's it been changing?" she asked. 6 months, maybe," Eleanor answered when Frank stayed silent. "But worse this week." Frank admitted to discomfort, then hesitantly, "Sometimes it feels like it's moving." Dr. Winters didn't dismiss him. "We'll do a biopsy today," she said, her voice steady but her eyes betraying concern. The procedure was quick, but her frown deepened as she extracted dense, unusual tissue. "I'm expediting this," she said, handing Frank care instructions and her personal number. That night, Eleanor set up a camera by their bed, capturing Frank's sleep. At 3:17 a.m., the footage showed the bandage rippling, as if something beneath shifted. She didn't show Frank, not yet. The next day, Dr. Winters called him in. "The biopsy's inconclusive," she said. "It's not typical melanoma. We need to remove it entirely, tomorrow, with Dr. Thornton, an oncologist." Frank's face hardened, but he nodded. Eleanor asked about Agent Orange, mentioning Frank's Vietnam exposure. "Possible," Dr. Winters said, "but we need more data." That night, Frank's nightmares worsened. Jungle, crawling sensations, pain. "It's burning, Ellie," he whispered past midnight, fear in his voice for the first time in 46 years. Have you ever ignored a small sign, thinking it was nothing, only to realize it was a warning of something much bigger? What's hiding in plain sight in your life right now? The surgical suite buzzed with tension as Dr. Winters began excising the growth. Frank lay under anesthesia, monitors beeping steadily. Eleanor and Lily watched through the observation window, clutching coffee cups. Dr. Thornton assisted, noting, "These fibrous extensions are like nothing I've seen, following facial planes, almost deliberate." Nurse Patricia adjusted the light, murmuring, "It's pulsing with his heartbeat." As Dr. Winters reached the growth's core, she froze. "This isn't shrapnel," she said, extracting a corroded bullet fragment. The tissue around it collapsed, then restructured, triggering Patricia's scream. Eleanor's hands pressed harder against the glass, her ring scraping the surface. What had Frank carried all these years? Post-surgery, Dr. Winters met Eleanor and Lily in the consultation room, placing the bullet fragment on the table. "It's about 45 years old, likely from Vietnam," she said. "His body built a complex structure around it, not just scar tissue, a smart capsule, filtering toxins like lead and copper." Eleanor stared, stunned. "He never mentioned being shot." Dr. Thornton nodded. "Combat injuries often go unreported if they seem minor at the time." Lily asked, "Why now? Why turn dangerous?" Dr. Winters sighed. Removing it disrupted a delicate balance. The tissue was protecting him, but also dependent on the fragment. They'd monitor Frank overnight, expecting discharge if stable. In recovery, Frank woke groggy but alert. Bullet fragment, he rasped, unsurprised. Took a hit in 71, near Quang Tri. Medics said it was superficial. Eleanor's hurt was palpable. "You never told me." Frank's eyes softened. "Didn't want you seeing a broken soldier." Ellie wanted to move on. Lily, ever practical, said, "It's out now. Tests will tell us more." That night, Frank mentioned a metal box in his workshop, combination Eleanor's birthday. "If anything happens, look inside," he urged. Eleanor promised, her heart heavy with his secrets. At home, unable to sleep, Eleanor opened the box. Inside, dog tags, a photo of young soldiers, a Purple Heart, and a letter. Frank's words spilled out. In 1971, his unit was ordered to clear a village near Quang Tri. No enemies, only civilians. Lieutenant Harris, unhinged, ordered an attack. Frank tackled him, taking a bullet in the struggle. Harris survived, but the military covered it up, claiming enemy fire. Frank, Tommy Williams, and 2 others swore silence to avoid court-martial. The Purple Heart felt like a lie, so he hid it. "I wanted to be the man you loved, not a war's ghost," he wrote. Eleanor wept, seeing the weight he'd carried. The next morning, Frank's fever spiked. The surgical site was inflamed, mottled, pulsing. Lily, examining it, said, "This isn't normal healing. We need him back in the hospital." At the ER, Dr. Winters confirmed an aggressive infection, possibly triggered by the growth's removal. "It's necrotizing along the tendrils' paths," she said, ordering emergency surgery. As Frank was prepped, he gripped Eleanor's hand. "The box, Ellie. Promise you'll look." She kissed his forehead, whispering, "I did. I know." In the waiting room, Tommy arrived, revealing he'd known about the bullet. "Frank saved lives that day," he said, "but we buried it to survive." "What secrets have you kept?" Thinking they'd protect someone, only to realize they built walls instead. How would it feel to finally let them go? Frank's second surgery was a battle against time. Dr. Winters and Dr. Thornton worked to debride necrotic tissue, finding the infection had spread faster than expected. "It's like it's fighting us," Dr. Thornton muttered, clamping vessels. Dr. Winters nodded. The tissue adapted to the bullet for decades. Removing it unleashed chaos. They placed drains, started triple antibiotics, and moved Frank to the ICU, ventilator breathing for him. Eleanor and Lily waited, the clock's ticks deafening. Tommy sat with them, his silence heavy with shared guilt. "4 of us knew," he said. "Now it's just me and Frank." Days blurred. Frank's fever ebbed, then surged. Eleanor read his letter again, its words a lifeline. She shared her own secret with Lily. Her Vietnam nursing days, treating horror she'd buried to become a teacher. "I thought I was protecting you," she said. Lily hugged her. You both did, in your own ways. On day 4, Frank's eyes fluttered open. He couldn't speak, but his hand squeezed Eleanor's. Dr. Winters reported early lab results. The growth was a unique immune response, a smart capsule neutralizing the bullet's toxins. It's a medical first, she said. We're sending samples to Walter Reed. Frank's recovery was slow. By week 2, he was off the ventilator, his voice weak but returning. Eleanor told him her secret. I was in Conai, patching up soldiers and civilians. I saw things I couldn't unsee, so I ran to teaching. Frank's eyes softened. We both carried shrapnel, didn't we? He reached for her hand. No more secrets, Ellie. They agreed to speak their truths, to Lily, to a VA historian, to each other. Frank recorded his Quang Tri story, anonymizing his comrades, unburdening decades of silence. Dr. Winters revealed a final twist. The bullet's composition and trajectory confirmed Frank's account, a close-range shot, American-made, from a struggle. It corroborates your testimony, she said. The VA wants to use it to validate other covered-up incidents. Frank agreed, hoping it would help veterans like Tommy. Eleanor watched him, seeing not just a soldier and a husband, but a man finally hold his scars, physical and emotional, laid bare. Have you ever carried a truth so heavy it shaped your life? What would it take to set it free? And who would you share it with? 6 months later, Frank and Eleanor planned a trip to Vietnam, joining a veterans reconciliation program with Tommy. They'd visit Quang Tri and Conai, facing their past together. Frank's case became a medical landmark, aiding research into veterans' long-term shrapnel effects. His testimony helped the VA acknowledge hidden war crimes, giving closure to others. Lily, inspired, started a veterans' health initiative in Chicago. The Masons' home, once a vault for secrets, now echoed with open conversations. Frank's Purple Heart sat on the mantel, no longer a lie but a symbol of courage, his, Eleanor's, and their shared healing. What truth are you ready to face? And how might it change everything?